I can see. EtonX, what's in it for me?
Okay,
That's
good. So
a very good question.
You can see my screen, is that right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, excellent. We'll keep working on that then so that that can be...
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The
That was an interesting message.
Who's that guy? Simon, and who's Keith? Who's Keith from?
No idea. They're doing the presentation. They're not from our school. There's some people from Aubrey's here, look.
Why do you need to get in there?
They want us to see what's going on because it might help us our teaching.
Okay, guys, so very good afternoon. A very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining the EtonX talk today, sponsored by Eton College, and Simon Gillard, our International Director for Asia, will be doing the presentation and sharing about how soft skills matter to us in current times. And hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Those of you who are not speaking, can you kindly mute your mic so that there'll be no outside noise interfering the presentation. After the presentation, we will actually be having a Q&A session. You can ask anything you want, and Simon will be happy to share with you. And if you have any questions, there is a chat box. You can actually just key in your question on the chat box. I will be the moderator of the day, and I'll read out your questions for Simon to answer. My name is Keith Tong. I'm the Group Managing Director of University Bookstore Malaysia. We started this division, UBSM International Education, mainly to do talks and sharing on topics that matters. Like say, people asking me about soft skills, and I finally brought Simon to share about soft skills. Somebody was asking me about a group of parents and teachers were asking me about mental health, about people dumping their kids in a school, having special needs, and they didn't know about it. And later when they found out, what do they do with the kids? That will be tomorrow's session. So there'll be quite a number of sessions. And the following week, we'll be bringing Cambridge University, Cambridge International Exams to talk about assessments, about evidence-based assessment and so on. So tune into our channel, like our UBSM Facebook. And without taking more time, I shall hand the whole session to Simon to share with us. Simon, over to you.
Thank you, Keith, for that lovely introduction. I trust that everybody can hear me clearly. Is that correct? Yep, good, thank you. So we've got a lovely question.
If that's okay.
Well, okay then.
What was that, sorry? Okay. The question is, EtonX, what's in it for me? And I believe that I'm talking to a mixture today, a mixture of educators and a mixture of students. And with EtonX, we want to see what's involved for all of those parties, because as Keith said, we're going to look at the desperate need for soft skills or future skills we have at this point in time. But how do we address this need? It's one thing being conscious of the need, but it's another thing actually filling that need. So that's where this question comes in. What's actually in it for you, whether you be an educator or whether you be a student? If I do all the talking, it's going to get pretty boring. So I've got a couple of videos that I'd like to intersperse. Is that okay? First up, a little bit of a video to introduce the headmaster of Eton College and what's happening with EtonX. If everything goes right, you should be able to hear it okay.
Hello, I'm Simon Henderson, headmaster of Eton College. Eton has established its reputation over generations, not just because of the academic experience we offer our students, but because of our genuine commitment to all-round education and to the development of character and attitude. These are skills which students everywhere need, and will need even more in the future in our rapidly changing world. We're therefore proud that with EtonX, we've been able to create online courses which develop these skills for students worldwide.
Hello, my name is Catherine Whitaker and I am Head of Learning and CEO at EtonX. EtonX offers students the chance to develop skills they may not have the opportunity to develop in the course of their regular studies. So, for example, they may not have had a chance to practice public speaking, or maybe they want to work on their assertiveness or influencing skills. It also gives them the chance to experience a new way of learning online with live group classes. And sometimes these involve students from other places, which also gives them the chance to develop intercultural skills.
I'm delighted that student feedback on EtonX courses is extremely positive. In particular, it is great that some students say that the virtual classroom environment helps them be braver, taking on challenges such as role plays and presentations that they might struggle with in a traditional classroom offline. We're really looking forward to extending Eton's reach and offering students on every continent the chance to experience new ways of learning.
I wanted to play that first, so everybody here today has got some sort of overall idea about Eton College and where EtonX fits in, okay? Does anybody know how old Eton College is? Can anybody help me with that question? How old is Eton College? Okay, no worries. It's about 600 years old, which means it's even older than Keith. It's been teaching for that long, so has built up a fantastic heritage over that amount of time. Why has Eton College done so well when it comes to education? Eton College realizes that it's not just about teaching academic skills, because in a lot of ways, academic skills are how good your memory is, how much you can remember. But it's the application of academic skills is where people become successful. And that's where the soft skills come in, applying successfully academic skills. The three pictures that you see here, do you know what they all have in common? All of them are Eton College old boys, including Boris Johnson, for better or for worse. But interestingly, 20 of the just over 50 British prime ministers in history all went to Eton College, which is a testimony to Eton College teaching not just academically, but teaching leaders. As I'm sure a lot of you know, many good colleges and schools from the UK have gone and put international schools all around the globe. But I'm sure you're very well aware that Eton College has not gone down that road. They do not want to dilute the brand. They have about 1,300 students on campus at any one time. Age range is approximately 13 to 18 years of age. So the rest of the world had a very limited chance of exposure to Eton College. But approximately 3 years ago, Eton College used its 600 years heritage to look forward to see that online teaching was something that would benefit the global community. If Eton College was able to use its heritage to be able to put together something online to benefit the global student, that was so much better than trying to put international campuses around the world. Part of their remit when they were doing that is the online platform had to be 100% secure. Have any of you heard some of the horror stories about Zoom online? I'm sure you have. The security is getting there, but it allows people to jump in and upload all sorts of nasty things. There's no way that the online EtonX platform will do that. It's been custom built. It's been coded from scratch so that the EtonX Tutor master has total control. Continuing on with that, look, there's a lot of people here. It's going to be hard to ask and answer questions immediately, but if you have got questions as we go through, just make a note of it, because at the end we'll open it up to everybody, okay? And we'll work on those. But just about EtonX, a lot of people get very confused. What's the relationship between EtonX and Eton College? Has Eton College just sort of done a franchise or something like that? No. EtonX is the online arm of Eton College. It's part of Eton College. 3 years ago, Eton College used foresight to see that online teaching was the way of the future. Don't like to mention it too much, but looking at the situation the world's in now with coronavirus, that was pretty smart. That was definitely wise. So EtonX is providing 100% online courses. At the moment, those courses are revolving around soft skills, future skills, life skills, people skill development. The courses get their content from Eton College. The delivery and technology is EtonX, so that the combination of those two things mean we can go 100% online. And Eton College has brought in experts in soft skill development in higher education to be able to develop the courses that we have so far. So that's a little bit about where it's come from. One of the reasons why Eton College decided to go for future skills or soft skills is to be able to answer the question at the bottom of the little chart. Can you see the question there? How can you communicate, think, and approach tasks in the real world? Technical skills or hard skills, they are changing every 12 months. The world keeps changing. But how to apply these hard skills, that doesn't change. That's an asset somebody has for a lifetime. So I got to thinking about it, and I asked myself, what exactly are soft skills? How would you define the term soft skills? And I'm sure that if I asked the 30 over people here, I would get 30 over different answers, because it could be a little bit different to everybody. But actually, soft skills originally, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, was a term coined by the American Army. Because in the Army, they realized that they were teaching soldiers the hard skills, but not people skills, not reporting, communication skills. So that's where the term came from. Bring it up to 2020, soft skills are a combination of people skills, social skills, EQ, emotional quotient or emotional intelligence in a person, and the ability to interact agreeably with others. We all interact with others, but sometimes we don't do it that agreeably, which, leads to not being successful. Soft skills also impart to people common sense. Very, very interesting. I once was talking to one of my directors on common sense. He said, Simon, do you know the problem with common sense? It's not so common. And I thought about that and laughed for a little bit, because isn't it true? Everybody's expected to have it, but really it's not so common in today's world. Soft skills are personal attributes that affect us in our relationships with others, in our communication with others, and in our interaction with others in all sorts of different relationships. So I just thought I'd cover that there, because as I said before, if I ask what soft skills are, I could get 30 different answers. But this is just a little capsulized definition of what they are. And I'm not saying it's the whole deal, as it were, but in the research, that is what it comes up as. Globally, at the moment, there is a huge soft skill, future skill gap. It is a fact. Why do we say it is a fact? Look at the first statistic there. 92% of executives, hiring executives, say that people's soft skills are either equal to or more important than technical skills. We covered that. Technical skills change. We need to keep upskilling ourselves technically, but soft skills, we either got them or we haven't. Deloitte is saying that 25% of employers really struggle to fill an entry-level, fresh grad position because the graduates don't have the soft skills necessary for that position. Only 20% of pupils feel that their education is helping them develop their soft skills. And look at this projection. By the year 2030, 66% or 2/3 of all jobs, all employment are going to be soft skill intensive occupations. Why? AI, computers, artificial intelligence. When it comes to all the technical stuff, they can do it. So employers are looking for people with soft skills. So this is where Eton College saw that there was a huge gap. Everybody knows the gap, but how does it get filled? Eton College, rather than developing academic short courses, developed soft skill short courses to be able to help fill this gap. Many educators know that they want to teach soft skills. They know they need to teach soft skills, but how do they teach soft skills? So enter EtonX. EtonX will work with educators in either an integrated fashion, where the EtonX programs can be part of their curriculum. EtonX can be co-curricular, extra-curricular, so that schools have an option to offer their students for teaching soft skills in those all-important after-school activities, summer school activities, or can just open it up to parents, so parents know that it's there and they can teach in that way. So that's what's in it for you. EtonX knows how to do soft skills. EtonX knows how to teach online. EtonX can help you be a better educator without needing to get all stressed and worry about how do you do it. Because what's in it for you when it comes to benefits as educators? Let's take bottom right first. Teachers generally have enough stress and pressure trying to keep up with teaching the curriculum, let alone this year where curriculum's almost been put on pause for 12 months. Adding to teachers' already stressed, busy workload by saying teach soft skills is really challenging. EtonX Soft Skills helps you by helping your students' chances to get better university places. Because let's face it, who's never heard of Eton College in the educational world? When they see an EtonX certificate signed by the headmaster of Eton College, it elevates your children's chances of better opportunities. Everybody talks about the global village. International schools have quite a good taste with that. But EtonX Online really puts students from all over the world with such different perspectives, helping with a global education. And lastly, the heritage of 600 years of teaching has been put into EtonX's soft skills, these extracurricular programs. So academic rigor has been put with a very enjoyable way of learning. That's what's in it for you. You've got a way to be able to teach soft skills, the best that the whole world has to offer educationally, without getting too stressed about it. Another benefit to educator is part of the unique developments that EtonX has done online is this dashboard. Okay, the dashboard is there for students. And as you can see, there's a lot of different tabs they can go into with different resources. They can mark up their journal. They can have discussions with peers or their tutors. But educators also have access to this dashboard. So you're not just hoping and praying and letting your student go that it will all go okay. You can check what their progress is. You can check with the EtonX Tutor as to how your students are doing. Another big bonus. What's in it for both educators and students when it comes to a virtual classroom? If you analyze it with your students these days, what is the most comfortable medium they have to communicate with? Are students most comfortable communicating face-to-face? Or are students most comfortable communicating on a device with other people? I'm old school. I'm most comfortable face-to-face, but most of our students are more comfortable on a device. Why are they more comfortable on a device? They keep their attention on a device. They're used to it. It's a language they speak. They don't have so much pressure on a device. They don't feel the same peer pressure when they're a real person in a real classroom, which increases confidence because everybody is equal. There's no teacher's pet. There's no one sitting at the front of the class, sitting at the back of the class. everybody's on an even playing field, and it's totally secure. We don't have any Zoom bombing on the EtonX online classroom. Our EtonX tutors are in complete control. At any second, they can cut anybody's video feed, anybody's audio feed, and students can only upload information if they have been empowered to do that by the tutor. So another very important point is this custom-built platform that EtonX has done is totally secure. Benefits to educators and to students. EtonX tutors have done all of the UK background checks. Everything that's necessary to teach in a UK college, Eton College, EtonX tutors have done, as well as, of course, training from Eton College and their pedagogy. Okay, what's in it for students? This, what's in it for students, is also what's in it for you as educators. I don't know if you picked up or not in the video. Did you notice the maximum amount of students in every class? 8. The maximum amount of students in every class is only 8. So there is personal tutoring from the EtonX tutor teacher. They will know that student individually for those 7 lessons. The students can individually chat, email, or communicate with their tutor should they need extra help on any of the topics. Most of us struggle to use English in a professional environment. Hey, technically I'm a native English speaker, but I still need to improve on my English communication styles when it comes to using English in a business communication sense. So students, you know what I mean? From 13 to 19 years old, 20 years old, it's a wonderful thing for them to be able to get confident at using English in a professional environment. Confidence increases. We'll look at this in more detail in a minute, but once I've finished the tutor group courses, they get a certificate which can be included on their CV, which is a very, very powerful tool when it comes to being attractive to top universities, especially Oxbridge. Oxbridge, very happy to see students have gone through and done the EtonX courses, as well as students being able to collaborate and communicate with peers that never would they have had a chance to if they had not have gone to the online classrooms. So that is what's in it for you as students, and that's a roll-on benefit to educators, because all parents love it when their students can really do better. Okay, you've probably had enough of me for a minute. Let's take a 2-minute video just to refresh ourselves.
Getting ready for life means so much more than getting good exam grades. To keep up with our rapidly changing world and stand out from the crowd, students need leadership skills. That means being a great communicator, a great collaborator, someone who is adaptable, resilient, creative. EtonX Future Skills courses develop all these vital skills online. Our courses bridge the gap between academic success and life in the real world. For example, on our critical thinking course, students learn to understand the world better and make more informed decisions. Our resilience course develops the confidence needed to face life's challenges and bounce back from failure. Our students can learn how to make an excellent first impression on our interview skills course. All of our courses are designed to boost success now and in the future. EtonX courses are full of interactive reading tasks, surveys and activities, giving students immediate feedback. There are hundreds of videos featuring professionals who are leaders in their fields and interviews with teachers and students from Eton College and other schools. Students can keep track of their development using their progress dashboard, and they set smart objectives so they can continue to use and apply their new skills daily. All our courses are available in 2 study modes: self-study, or in a tutor group. In our tutor group courses, students have the exciting opportunity to develop their skills in the EtonX virtual classroom with a small group of other students and their EtonX tutor. At the end of the course, successful students receive an EtonX certificate signed by their course director and the headmaster of Eton College. Sign up today and join students from all over the world who have chosen to get ahead and stand out from the crowd with EtonX Future Skills courses.
Okay, once again, I'm sure the video was able to sort of help you file a lot of information about EtonX and what can be in it for you, either as an educator or as a student. But when it comes to the courses that EtonX is offering, there are 4 main areas that EtonX has developed with the help of Eton College, with the curriculum. First of all, communication. Second, university preparation. Third, workplace preparation. And 4, leadership. They're the 4 main specializations that the courses fall under. There's some overlap, of course. Our next slide shows the 11 different courses, separate courses that are available. I'm interested to open it up to the audience here. I'd like some feedback, please. Either as an educator or as a student, which of these courses do you think would benefit students the most where you are teaching, or for you? Which of these courses would benefit the most?
You may actually type your answer on the chat box if you want to.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Good idea. There's no wrong answers here, okay, guys? You're not getting graded on this.
So we have critical thinking skills and entrepreneurship. I think the reason is because critical thinking is almost in every school, and that we need to do critical thinking skills, and entrepreneurship is the typical Asian. We always think about business first. So over to you, Simon. These are the 2. Okay, we have more. Making an impact, creative problem solving.
Excellent. No, I'm happy to hear that as it comes back. And I can tell you from my own experience.
Verbal communication too.
Yeah. It's easy to talk, but actually effective verbal communication is a real art. And it's something that we need to learn. I myself spent quite a bit of time on 2 of these courses so far, public speaking and interview skills. I've been doing public speaking for more than 30 years, and I was amazed at the level of training students could receive because I was learning tips about public speaking, and I've been through a lot of courses and I've done a lot of it, and I thought to be able to give that to students, in English we call it putting an old head on young shoulders. So it really is beneficial. What I like about it most is it's not boring. There's minimal writing and maximum interactivity with tasks. So it makes it enjoyable learning. Good. Anything else, feedback there, Keith?
Verbal communication, resilience.
Resilience is a very important one because all of us in life, who has not failed? And I'm not expecting anybody to say yes to that because I think we've all failed at some point, right? And when you've failed, what is your natural reaction? Give up, move on, try something else. It's not go back and succeed because for a lot of reasons. The resilience course reminds me very much of a coconut tree in a typhoon. What happens to the coconut tree? It bends down, but as soon as the typhoon's over, it's right back to where it was and producing coconuts. So we need that in life because we all go through our storms, we all go through our typhoons, but we need to get back up and get on. So resilience, good skill, good skill. Thank you. So yeah, just keep thinking about those because they're the 11 different courses that EtonX will drill into in detail. What's the model that can help both educators and students with these EtonX courses? Well, the first model is what we term a tutor group course, okay? Classes will be either 6 to 8 students. A tutor will lead these classes. The internet price is $399 US per student, but I have got some very good news on this. If you talk to Keith in UBS, you can get it much cheaper than that because they're our partners and we can give them discounts, okay? If you come directly to me into the internet, I can only give you the list price. So I suggest forget about me because you're not getting the biggest bang for your buck. So that's the first course. All of these tutor group courses have 7 different lessons, okay? You can see an example of the public speaking course along the top. It's broken up into 7 different parts. The first week, orientation week, is just so everybody can get comfortable, get to know what's going to happen. The second lesson, these are the different topics for each lesson. Again, because this is a flipped learning model, it is not learned by listening and memorizing, it's learned by doing, okay? It's flipped learning. So the last lesson is actually putting everything that you've learned together and actually doing public speaking. And there will be an assessment at the end for you on that, okay? So 7 different lessons. These 7 lessons can either take place over 2 weeks fast track or standard 7 weeks. 7 weeks would be 1 lesson per week. Fast track 2 weeks, usually there are 4 lessons in the first week, 3 lessons in the second week. And we've especially gone to fast track over coronavirus and summer school, because students have got the extra time to put into it. Each lesson takes about 2 hours of work, and this is how it's broken down approximately. You've got about 40 minutes per week of self-study tasks to prepare you to know what to do for the other modules. Second module, practice what you've done in self-study with a peer, one of your classmates. Approximately 1 hour of live classes, which needs to be a fixed time. If we have a class of 6 to 8 students, we can arrange a bespoke time with London so that it can suit our time zone. Lastly, 10 or 20 minutes of reflection, wrap up, so that students can put together everything that they've been able to learn in that lesson before they go to the next one. So that's the academic rigor that is built into the courses. And because it's Eton College that did it, it goes a step further. Depending on the performance of students in the tutor group classes over those 7 different lessons, they will get a certificate with either a pass, a merit, or distinction. And that, literally depends on your performance, how well you've done. At the end of it, you will be emailed a soft copy of this certificate. The certificate, of course, will have EtonX on it. It'll have the student's name. It'll have whether they pass with distinction or merit. It will have the Eton College headmaster's signature, as well as the course master's signature. And this, if you like, as well as developing those lifelong skills, this is what's in it for students. This certificate in their CV is pretty powerful should they wish to apply for a university, especially in the UK, or a school in the UK, or go into the workforce. This is recognized. The second model for EtonX is purely self-study, okay? There's no online class with a live EtonX tutor. There is no peer-to-peer learning. There is about 8 to 10 hours of self-study, which means you can do it anytime that's convenient to you. The price for that is $59 US, because there's no locking into it, an EtonX tutor for an hour a week or anything like that. The self-study material for the tutor group class and for the self-study is exactly the same. The self-study material is the same. You do not have the extra peer-to-peer nor the online classes, okay? So there's two models that it comes in. You complete the self-study and you will get this basic student certificate transcript where it shows how you have performed during the course, and it will be signed by the EtonX CEO. So that also can go into your CV. Each of the 11 courses, you can get 11 different certificates. You can get 11 different EtonX certificates should you wish to. One for each of the 11 different courses. Just to let you know what's going on with that. Okay, we get to a bit of tech stuff here. The EtonX platform has been really designed to work in Chrome. So if you have Chrome, everything will work very well. It also does work in Apple Safari, but the coding has been done for Chrome. And they're just some basic things there. Please note for students that it works so much better on a laptop or a desktop, mainly because of the size of the screen. With all of the interactive activities, a pad is sort of doable, but a mobile phone is really too small to get the best out of everything, okay? We're looking into bringing that on board and redoing some things, but at the moment, we would recommend students either have a laptop or a desktop if at all possible. So they're the tech things. And you have come to the end of my little presentation there. Thank you so much for your listening to me. I hope it hasn't been too boring. What I would very much like to do now is we'll stop screen sharing. We will open it back up and get into a Q&A mode. That would be just brilliant. So, actually what I'm going to do here, just give me 1 minute and I'll put my sound back through my headset rather than the... Okay, hopefully that should work. Looks good. Okay, so with that information about EtonX, I'm hoping that you guys can see that whether you're an educator, whether you're a student, there's definitely something in there for you. Because as mentioned, crossing the divide of knowing the need for soft skills, wanting to help with soft skills, and actually how to do it, we've got something we can put in the middle here as a solution. That's what's in it for you. So please, let's rock out some questions here. This is Q&A time. I tried to get through as quickly as I could because this to me is the most important part of the whole little webinar. So don't be too shy. Either put it into the chat group, unmute yourself, ask the question. Let's go for it. If you want to ask in Chinese, talk to Keith. If you want to do English, very happy to do that. If I can't answer the question, talk to Keith.
Okay, Mark has a question. What age range is it created for?
The creation of the courses has been from 14 to 20 years of age because Eton College is a high school and that's the age that they are targeting. We have found, though, that many teachers want to get a group of teachers together to go through a course so they can have an idea of the material and how to teach soft skills. So the Eton College tutor can be able to adapt the course to focus the audience. But legally, we can only have an age range of 2 years for each class. For example, we could have 14, 15, 16. We could have 18, 19, 20. But we cannot have 14, 16, 20, 20 over, okay? The age range would have to be the same in one class because the disparity is too much, let alone the legal criteria. And I'm sure you as teachers would know that. But that is the age I've been developed for. We have noticed that Asia is a little bit behind the Western world when it comes to soft skills. So a lot of those courses will be very applicable even to adults. Thank you, Keith.
I think generally we would classify them into Key Stage 3, Key Stage 4, and probably A levels.
Yes, sounds good.
Yeah. There is another question. Masako was asking, what is it in for educators? How are we into the online courses? Or do you actually mean that whether educators could join a course? Simon?
Yes, as mentioned, we can arrange a bespoke class for educators because then the course can be tailor-made to educators. Remembering it's been developed for 14 to 20-year-olds, but the course can be tailor-made for educators, so in turn, they can look how to implement the courses in their own environment, okay? Again, it's much easier to learn by doing than to start something from scratch by ourselves. So yes, educators, if they wish to, can form classes and go through those courses. Educators also, just to let you know, if you are an educator and you would like to do a self-study course without the online classes, talk to UBS, talk to Keith, and we will arrange for a complimentary or free self-study course for you. So it means that you can get into the self-study course, no charge, it will be free so you can see what's happening. Because EtonX is an educator, we want to support other educators. So there's two ways there that will help educators. What's in it for you?
That's
Does
where
that answer your
I
question?
can't wait. I can't wait. I have to come in and say thank you. And that's exactly what I'm looking forward to. So Keith, please take note. There's one participant here waiting to see how we can do this online course, especially with the soft skills coming in. And thank you Keith, for this event. Thank you.
Yep, well, you're very welcome. For any of you who are educators, I've just keyed the David's contact number, david@ubsm.com.my. What you do is that you just drop him an email stating you're an educator, where are you from, or which organization or independent consultant as such. We will send you a code for you to log in and try it out. In fact, I myself is waiting to actually go into this whole system. Is from the feedback of some of our customers is really amazing. The thing is that, in fact, I would personally think that educators should go online to learn about this. And they themselves, if they have a kid that is 14 to 20, they should enroll in one of the instructors-led tutor class. Because like say, if you're owner, you're running a school, right? This is world-class. This is the model of online learning, whether it's synchronous or asynchronous. Synchronous, that means you go to a live lesson. Look at how this world-class organization do their lessons online. And asynchronous is like self-study, do it in your own time as such. So what you do is that you should experiment this. And also some of the rules that many of us has been sharing is that, why is it that the big boys cannot mix with the secondaries, the younger ones? And why is it the tutors cannot mix with the students? Because there is many for safety measure, and especially there's an issue about grooming and so on that really, really matters to the school. Security, because many of us don't have that many kids, and my kid is my world. They are everything to me. If anything happened to them or being tackled by somebody in a group or something like that, my life will end. so is that so really matters. And sometimes if a school really need to, you can actually gather a few teachers for a session, and you all learn how a course has been done. And in fact, many of us wanted to learn some of these skills which we never learned in our earlier part of our life. Or sometimes many of us in the senior management team, we want to do counseling, and some of those soft skills that we ourselves have never been professionally trained in it, we may actually gather, like say, it could be two teachers from this school, another teacher from another school. We can actually do a class, maybe a 5-school combination. As long as you meet a minimum of 6 teachers, we can actually have a private class. For the matter, if you are a school, you may actually have like 2 students interested, another school, another 2. You can actually do that. I'm sure this will be really, really good for you guys to have the hands-on experience to this.
Thanks, Keith. And I'll just add in there, when it comes to your, my CEO likes to say complimentary, let's be honest, your free self-study course, we'll just use the word free because she's not listening, and Keith, don't send her the recording of this, okay? I don't want to explain this. If you want to do more than one free self-study lesson, don't be shy to ask for more than one, okay? As Keith said, just send to the email your name, your email address, and where you're coming from, and we'll get you as many codes as you wish for the 11 self-study courses. Please remember that you being educators, you can probably knock them out in 4 to 5 hours. Shouldn't be a problem, okay? So just put that out there. Yes, they are free for educators.
I think at times, like a situation like this, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, most of the international partners, like people like Eton College, EtonX, they are very good guys. They're here to support you. And one of the things I like to share is that recently, I just heard that Eton College alumni alone comes up with £100 million to be given to charity in the UK to help the poorer schools and stuff like that. I mean, for any alumni, I am the trustee of Methodist Boys School alumni. We don't have that £1 million, maybe £1 million ringgit or so we may not have, but they're giving away £100 million. That means their alumni is really powerful, and their education department is so nice at this present moment, so generous, where all these courses which cost so much, we are actually helping schools in developing countries by giving scholarships to the students. If you think that your student is really deserving and fall within the age group of 14 to 20, please contact me. We'll be more than happy to help out and let the Asian countries, especially Malaysia, where it's very personal to me, to help you gain an experience of such. You're getting the real thing for free. It's like, so make full use of the opportunity, contact us, all right? We can actually help out in any way we can. Okay, I have actually put David's email over there for you to just drop a short note to David, and he can actually reply you. Now, the other thing is that this recording will be on our Facebook Live. You just go to facebook.com/ubsm.com.my. You can actually tune into this Facebook. And our YouTube also, youtube.com/ubsm.com.my. You can actually do that. David's contact is there. On our website, ubsm.com.my, all the courses, details, and videos and information are all there. All right. You can actually buy it as an e-commerce, or for the moment, I suggest you contact me. I give you a free class, a free lesson. You have first-hand experience. Until you fully, really, really love it, only then you buy anything. You see, for us, we call for accountability in supplying as well as sharing as such, where unless you're fully satisfied, because our reviews on our website everywhere is 100% satisfaction. Because the things that unless you're fully satisfied, you find that it's perfect for you. If not, don't buy it. But obviously, we are world-class and ranked very highly in the world. We are very confident that go ahead, explore, experiment, try it out. I'm sure you'll get good customer satisfaction.
Thanks, Keith. Well done, guys, for putting things into the group chat. Thank you. I am even starting to get so familiar with Zoom, I can look at the chat and you guys at the same time. I don't know if that's good or bad, but anyway. Ealing had a question. Do the online courses involve exams and/or assessments? The answer is yes, there is an assessment at the end of the online courses to be able to assess as to what kind of pass a student will get. But the assessment is is task-based, it's hands-on based. It's not like an academic assessment where you need to do a whole big long exam and paper, but it's just making sure you can put into practice the things that you have learned over the period of the courses, okay? So yes, there is an assessment, but it's more interactive. It's more doing what you've been learning, not an academic paper or something like that, okay? Now, do you contact David or Keith? That question, I would say,
David.
I would say whoever's the most handsome.
David is much more handsome than me. He got
There's the answer then.
a military body, you know, so I don't have, I'm cute and cuddly and round. The chisel look, you go for David. And he's still single, I'm married, so I'm taken.
There you go. That's a lot of information to digest in one day.
David, can you share your mobile number on the group chat as well so that they can contact you? Have shared your email. Do share your mobile number so that anyone wants to know more or contact you, you can actually let them know. Actually, by the way, the entire codes and scholarship is all in David's hands. I don't have any codes at all, so go to David. He's the Santa Claus, not me.
Good. I believe that Yap Ming Fai has a question. Is that correct?
The things that, let me see. No,
David's just pinging me on that.
They sent a thank you note for our session, actually.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that's very good. That's a lot of interest.
No, thanks for coming, guys, because you know what I've sort of noticed is, again, it's a matter of looking at how can this need be addressed, especially in Asia. A little bit about myself. I originally came from New Zealand. I've been living in Asia for 30 over years now. So basically I'm a foreigner wherever I go. That's just the way that one's worked out. But I lived in Hong Kong for about 26 years. When I first went there, Hong Kong soft skills were pretty abysmal. The students' soft skills are still pretty abysmal, but generally the service area got a lot better to be able to get business going, especially after 1997. They had to be nice to all of the tourists because that's where it was happening. So I noticed a change there, but I also noticed in Asia, if tourism and hospitality can get back on the map again, these soft skills are extremely important for most businesses, because the Western world likes to be treated like the Western world, and that's where so much of the business is coming from. So EtonX is really able to plug quite a major deficit in what's happening in this part of the world for soft skill education.
Absolutely. I mean, there has been some questions about the importance of soft skills. I think you have just answered it. For me, I would like to emphasize one of the program about CV writing. As you know, till date, last week, there's already 2.4 million people lost their jobs in Malaysia alone. And probably by end of this month, there'll be probably 3 million people losing their jobs. And frankly, I find that it's amazing. How do we actually do 7 weeks professional training on CV writing alone? So there'll be thousands of people going for the same jobs. If you write a fantastic CV with good certs like Eton College or something like that to match, it will really make you the impressive one. And people can, I mean, we do tons of interviews, we receive tons of CVs as such. Sometimes we just look for the really special one where people put really keen effort and look at the professionalism, the dedication, and the commitment of doing the CV alone speaks a lot about that individual. I find that under normal circumstances, I'll never even bother about CV writing. But under such circumstances, especially when you are going to go to get a job, this will be pretty cool, actually, a course to do.
Right. And just following on from that, your CV usually is the first window that a prospective employer sees about you. So as Keith said, having something a little bit different to everybody else means that you're put into the interview round pile, not the reject pile over the other side. The next soft skill that we need is interview skills. It's interesting because I've done a lot of interviewing over the years, and there's little techniques that an interviewer will use to really see the thinking ability and the common sense in the person that you are interviewing. Because at the end of the day, a degree doesn't tell you much about a person. It says they spent so long at university and they could remember so much stuff. But interview skills these days are really challenging. I had the challenge of speaking for 10 minutes into my computer so that a prospective board was able to review my video that I did to myself and decide whether I got into the next round of interviews or not. And that was challenging because it's like you're just talking to yourself and what have you. But during the interview skills course, it covers all of the aspects of interviews, including a lot of the curveballs that you get thrown. Just tell you what I like to do. At the end of the interview, I always ask the person I'm interviewing, do you have any questions for me? 95% of the time, I want to go and give the poor person a cup of tea or coffee and a heart attack pill because they just panic. But it tells me that that person can't really think on their feet like I need them to in the real world. The 5% that can do that, we go to the next level straight away. So there's all sorts of little tips and techniques that, as Keith said, in the unique environment that nobody could foresee, EtonX is already there. It's already put on the table what is needed in these future skills. And these skills are not just for a university degree which comes and goes. These skills will be with the person for lifetime. So yeah, excellent, Keith. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions from the rest of you? I'm just actually looking through the whole thing. Okay, there is a question from E-Ling. Is there a time frame for the free code offer, as our educators may be more bogged down with the teaching and learning work this semester? Perhaps we could take on online courses during our semester break at the end of July. I think at this present moment, I'll discuss this with Simon. Our courses would actually all be ending on the 30th of June. Right, what we are doing now and our support, but I'm not sure. Simon have to get clearance from headquarters whether we could do special ones for people who needs it in July.
Good. When it comes to educators, we have pretty much an open door policy there. When it comes to the students, we have, you know, sort of a time frame on it. But if you're an educator and you want access to free codes, understand that at the moment, all of you like us are struggling with online learning and whatever else to try and help our students through. But when it comes to the self-study things at the end of July, no problem, we can arrange it for that time period. When you get the self-study code, you have approximately 6 months to finish it. So it's not a pressure thing. The only thing I would say, doing it myself, is continuity is important. If you do one lesson 1 month, another lesson the next month, it's sometimes quite hard to be able to join the two together to correlate. Continuity runs out. But for the free codes for self-study to educators, Catherine, my CEO, has said, the complementary codes we like to help educators with. So if we couch it like that, Simon stays in a job.
Okay, so write to David or give David a call. We'll be more than able to help and support. Another skills I would like to highlight is the research skills. You see, we Chinese always talk about you teach somebody to fish, they will fish for a lifetime. You give them a fish, they will only eat that fish alone, you see. So like research skills is kind of, everybody does research skills our whole life, especially now. When we go for an interview or you go to present something to a client or something like that, they will have everyone sitting there. Whatever you say, they start researching through all kinds of websites and information to check whether whatever you say is true, is backed up by studies with statistics and so on and so forth. So if you really know this kind of information literacy skills or research skills, you'll be able to do so many things in this current internet world. Basically, so you can search for many things which will come in very handy, whether it's for a job, whether it's looking for some medical information, whether it's something for your family, for your kids, or anything like that. it will be a life skill that will build a human capital that will last a lifetime for you. I think this is a really wonderful thing. In fact, the more I look at it, it's wow, it's so interesting.
And I think that goes back to a previous question we had. Yes, what EtonX has done when they started this was actually not only predicting the future by looking with foresight as to where it was going, but putting something in place to help students and people capture the future and not get left behind. I always like to go back to my cell phone. How many years does your cell phone last these days? 2 years, 3 years? Then you've got to upgrade, right? That's what we call hard skills, and that's technical skills. And it's the same with people, you know. Just before we went into this, we were talking with Misako. She's doing some online courses at the moment. Why? Because the hard skills we have go out of date. But the soft skills that EtonX is offering really help everybody to be able to apply the hard skills we have now and that we are following up on, to apply them in the real world, to apply them in our lives. So this is an asset that we really want people to get involved with, because, you know, as AI, artificial intelligence, becomes more and more prevalent, and listen, if anything coronavirus has taught us is that we need more artificial intelligence sometimes when it comes to a lot of these, you know, sort of drudge jobs, as it were, where a lot of unskilled laborers together in one place. It is the way the world's going. So now's the time to be able to retool ourselves with soft skills and be useful to employers to get jobs. So, yep, let's upskill.
Hi. Okay. The things that one probably those of you who ask who want to ask questions, we will take one more last question before we end the session, so that it's not too long, because some of you may have to go for another engagement. But before the question, I'd like to ask Simon the question: how often do we update the system to keep up with current times? You know, the entire syllabus, or the teachers actually apply and update, especially the live classes. I'm sure it's going to be very up to date, right, with what is required and trending at current times.
Good question, Keith. Good question. I can answer that at a number of levels. The first level is that the courses are under continual review. I can tell you a secret, but I don't tell anybody because I want to keep the job. I was asked to review quite a few of the modules in the public speaking course, because the public speaking course at the moment is under review and being updated. And that happens with all of the courses, the 11. They are under continual maintenance and updating to keep pace with the world as it changes. The second part to that question is that Eton College is looking at new courses that are necessarily, as the world keeps on changing apace. The latest one that we're looking at, and I don't mind telling you all this, a little secret here, we're looking at something like a global citizen course. It fits very well into the IB curriculum. And as the world becomes just a bigger village, becoming a global citizen rather than just being a particular nationality is extremely important. So that's another course that is looking at. In the future, Eton College is looking at a whole new dimension of online courses that if I do tell you, I will get fired, so I can't. But it will possibly be another 11 or 12 online courses that will not compete with soft skills, but complement the soft skills for students. And they're not just academic courses, because the academic real estate place out there is absolutely saturated. There's lots of academic stuff. So it's another whole thing again, looking to the future. So yes, Eton College and EtonX is continually changing to keep pace with the world that we're living in.
Simon, that's really good to know, because many of our schools, or probably 90% of the private schools over here, we just started a new subject under the IGCSE Cambridge syllabus called Global Perspective. And a lot of schools don't really have much of a historical training or guidance for the teachers, and they just make do with whatever textbook and some of the CPD programs that Cambridge offers. In fact, we need a lot of help for global perspective. It's something that is high demand at the present moment. Do let me know as soon as your global studies is ready.
Maybe, Keith, could we just make a request to all of the educators here? If you think that that topic would be good for you, it would be necessary, global perspective, global citizen, whatever else, communicate that to us, because I will be able to table that to the Eton College Board of Directors. They have a lot of feedback, but remember they're based in London and the UK has got enough of its own issues trying to work through things at the moment. This global perspective that they get back shows that it's not just one or two people with an idea. It is something that is needed, and it may be that that course will go forward faster than one of the other courses. So if we could get a little bit of help on that and individually write to us, I can really put some weight behind it.
Okay, fantastic. So if there's no more questions from our guests, we shall actually end the session, Simon. Any last closing remarks from you, Simon?
I'd just like to thank everybody for coming and listening. I hope it wasn't too boring. I tried to make it not, because I've been through a lot of boring ones. Don't feel shy to ask for more information. UBSM has got all the information I have, and they have direct access to me. We almost communicate daily with UBSM, and I'm very happy to be able to fulfill whatever requests are out there. So don't hesitate. We're here to help.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for taking time to learn with us. And Simon, thank you so much for sharing your expertise. And it's been a really interesting session. All right, guys, thank you. I shall end the meeting soon. I will leave the chat on for the next 5 minutes so that some of you can take down David's email and mobile number to contact him. And I will end the session in about 5 minutes time. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you both very much. Well done. God bless.
Very welcome.